Hello everyone, it's me. I'm here with my brother today.
Hi.
And we're going to be reacting to the Fnaf timeline video made by MatPat in honor of the Fnaf movie.
And also because we hate him.
Hate is a strong word.
I don't care.
We despise... I'm kidding. I'm going to make an entire video why I don't like MatPat, but for now, let's watch this.
Today, we end the torment. 19 books, 11 games, 8 whole years, all leading to this moment. The ultimate FNAF timeline.
So we're gonna fast forward this shit, because it's not even important. What the hell is that? What are you doing to Pikachu? Anyway, that's not...
Trying to figure out what level Pikachu is.
To then be reborn in a new digital form later.
What?
What is that glitch trap screenshot?
Why is it loading?
As well as just points I wanted. Once the best answers out of thin air, not only books and any other back grabs, present to you the story.
Okay, so we're gonna do this in parts, just like with the timeline. We're gonna do part 1, part 2, and part 3. So, anyway, here we are.
Of a loving, obsessive father. Make sure that you subscribe, since this is going to be a video that you're going to want to come back to a few times in order to fully dissect. Without any more waiting, I present to you the story of a loving, obsessive father who slowly descended into madness, and along the way, discovered the secret to eternal life.
I was really afraid you were going to say we're going to dissect you. That's why I stopped you. What were you gonna say about dissecting?
I'm gonna dissect you.
Ah, come on. Okay.
Just stabs with scalpel.
Our story begins not in the 1980s, or even in the 1970s, but all the way back in the 1930s.
The actual heck? Okay, so I have a calculator here. Let's do some math, shall we?
Okay, I love how he just pulled the 1930s out of his ass.
Yeah, like who even, I'm honestly curious where he got it. Okay, so let's be generous in a...
Soon, January 1st, 1930.
Okay, let's just, okay, so we're gonna throw him a bone, and because so 1938, no, wait. Okay, actually, no, we're gonna do we're gonna do 1938, right? Okay, so, supposedly, the FNAF 4 takes place in 1983, so we're gonna do 1983 minus 1933. 1938. And
Imagine not being able to use a calculator.
Okay, that's 45 years in between. Now, let's assume that he was born in 1938, which I'm sure he's not. Let's do this. Let's assume he was 5, okay? Let's put us in a whopping, in 1933, William Afton was 50 years old.
1983.
Now, what did I say?
1953. I'm sorry, 1933.
1983, William Afton is 50 years old. Now, that would, let's assume the crying child is 10. Okay, let's just throw him a bone there. Minus 10, that would mean that he would have to be 40 when he had the crying child. Now,
I swear, MatPat pulled this out of his ass because he didn't know what else to do. He just needed to put a date down there.
Yeah, it's assuming his wife is much younger than he is.
Which I highly doubt it, since he's William Afton.
I don't even know where you got 1933. We're gonna be on this for a while, so let's just move on.
It was the throes of the Great Depression, and people were in desperate need of cheap entertainment, especially in Utah, one of the states hit hardest, 4th highest unemployment in the nation, and full of transients. People looking for work in Salt Lake, finding none, and ultimately moving on to find their fortunes out in California. People were tired and they were hungry, but as they traveled, there was one thing that could lift their spirits. A simple roadside attraction called Fredbear's Singin' Show. The ads were
I mean, okay, I can see where he's going, but I'm gonna Google this real quick. Actually, let's Google this, shall we? Pew. Because, you know, I'm one who likes to make sure that everything's real, because I question everything. What was it? Fredbear's Singing Show. Poster. Okay. Where is it? Oh, this is actually real. Okay. I was kind of worried and Google's not gonna load. Okay, it is real. Okay, I see where he is going with this, but it seems a stretch to assume that William Afton was even alive in the 1930s.
I'd say probably more like... I'd be more fine with late 40s, early 50s.
I mean, if you think about it for like a second, it is possible. It is possible, but the age he would have to have his kids is very, very old, and his wife would have to be a lot younger than him because it's not that you can't have a child at 40. It's that you really shouldn't.
Isabella, I would like to say something.
Yes.
The reason
you use my real name, that doesn't matter.
So the reason William had children so late is because he gets no bitches.
No! Shut up.
Plastered all over town, featuring an animated bear drawn in the popular pie-eyed cartoon style for characters at the time. He resembled cartoons like Mickey Mouse, Felix the Cat, Betty Boop. It immediately
Bendy
said that this, Fredbear's, was a place where you could bring the family. And the price, honestly, couldn't be beat. For 50 cents, you could get food and entertainment.
I'm honestly kind of curious how much 50 cents was back in the 1930s.
We're doing a lot of Googling off screen.
Yeah, I'm Googling things. Okay. How much in today's money was 50 cents in 1930s? I'm honestly curious. Pew. About $7. About $7.85, so, you know, pretty good.
You watched the local trained real-life dancing bear perform on stage. Normally, you only got to see dancing bears at large traveling circuses like Barnum and Bailey, where the tickets would go for about $1. That's $1 without food. But this was a smaller show, like the type from the Vaughn Brothers or the Robbins Brothers, where tickets would sell for just a mere 50 cents. Watching that bear do tricks on stage brought a glimmer of joy at a time when so much was wrong with the world.
I mean, that bear... He's talking about how things are wrong with the world, but that bear...
This reminds me of the bear from the totally accurate Fnaf timeline.
Honestly, that's so true. We'll put a link to that, because that video's funny.
The simple show would go on for years, bringing happiness to hundreds of travelers passing through looking for a quick meal. But it left a permanent impression on one little boy, capturing...
Oh my god, is that Purple Guy?
Is it Purple Guy?
His imagination in a way that nothing else had. One little boy named Billy. That was his nickname.
What? I'm sorry, I had to pause it. It said Billy, and then when I paused, it was like, oh wait, yeah, Billy is a nickname for William, sorry.
But his parents like to call him William Afton. The bear could dance,
Actually, Billy is a
For
nickname.
decades, William dreamed of recreating that moment of bringing a musical bear to life, but how? William was smart, without a doubt, and he had a keen mind for business, but he wasn't the most creative. How do you make a singing, dancing bear come to life? The best he could do was using rudimentary costumes. William was inspired by the work of Walt Disney, who throughout the 50s and 60s was pioneering the use of mascot suits throughout his theme park. The big innovation? Suits with 5 fingers. This allowed the performers wearing the suits to use their natural arms and hands to interact with the guests.
Oh my god, no!
Or a cream-filled slider of happiness.
I mean, I'm craving some Oreos.
And then whatever the hell this is.
Bro, no one cares.
No one needs that much perfume.
Opposed to the older models where the arms would just hang limply by their side.
That, you did that hand wrong. Unless it's supposed to be from the back, but... Oh, I guess it would be from the back. Never mind.
Finally, with a simple mascot suit, he would be able to realize his childhood dream. He would be able to bring Fredbear to life. To appeal to the kids, and for copyright reasons, he changed Fredbear from a realistic brown animal to a cartoonish yellow bear with a purple hat and bow tie. But
I'm not really sure that you can copyright a bear, since, you know, it's a pretty widely used thing. But, you know, I guess,
I can understand that, but like...
I understand that you want it to be unique and all, but you can't just copyright a bear. Okay, I guess he's saying that so William can copyright it.
And make merchandise, baby!
But if it has a name and a certain design to it, I think you can copyright it just on that. But I don't know much about copyrights, so, you know, whatever.
Like one character wasn't enough, he added another friend, a yellow rabbit with a purple vest and matching tie named Bonnie the Bunny. While Fredbear was certainly his first love, Bonnie was extra special because that was his. It was an original character that he had created from scratch. And I do mean scratch. William's hand-sewn costumes were rough with seams and stitches visibly showing, but it was the best that he could do. And you know what? It was just enough. Bonnie and Fredbear would perform on stage to small but enthusiastic crowds. Finally, he was able to deliver fantasy and fun to all the kids, delighting and inspiring them in the exact way that he had been delighted and inspired so many years ago.
We're gonna get to the actual
could have
video
ended there.
soon.
That could have been the end to his story. It could have been perfect had it not been for one thing. Other people saw the success of his idea and they wanted in. Enter Chica's Party World, a rival restaurant starring performing animal characters. His idea, except they did it better. William may have been the first, but obviously he wasn't the best. It hurt the prideful William Afton to admit it, but this restaurant was able to do the thing that he always wanted to do, make the animals actually come to life. All of the performers in this restaurant were robots, simple metal skeletons that were powered by battery packs, but all of them able to freely turn and talk and dance on their own, no human required. It was like magic. Magic that came from the mind of a brilliant creator named Henry Emily. This Henry, in some small way, had been able to harness the power of life itself.
So, I guess
That's Ned Bear.
It's not important, but I'm assuming that now the Silver Eyes are not canon. I mean, not that they were, but in the sense that Henry and William were partners, as far as I was aware, but apparently that's been retconned. You know? Because it's been retconned like 1,000 times now. You get what I'm saying? What?
Scott.
I love Fnaf in a way, but you need to make a game that just, or a book that just explains everything.
Okay.
Not everything, but just what's been retconned, what is not.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
My issue with FNAF is that the lore has gotten so complicated and convoluted that I've just ceased to care.
That's not true. We're making this video.
Oh. Well, it's not about the FNAF lore. It's about this ass clown.
Bro, what did I tell you about that aggressive language?
Shut up.
No.
Afton admired him. He was jealous, to be sure, but he also looked upon this man with...
Why does purple guy keep changing colors?
Yeah, and it just referenced the Silver Eyes, so it doesn't even make any sense. They're literally partners in the Silver Eyes when they're doing a lore dump or whatever, but whatever.
Off to one side of Chica's Party World was a small cabaret stage featuring an elephant magician. On the other, a hippo no...
I mean, I feel like I missed something at some point, but I feel like those were just in FNAF 6, which might not even be real anymore because we have Help Wanted 2 coming out. But I didn't think that Henry actually made those, not like during this time, maybe later when FNAF 6 takes place, but I thought that these guys didn't even exist back then.
I always thought that Henry was the person supplying the pizzeria.
What do you mean?
Like, I always thought that Henry Emily was the person supplying Michael's pizzeria there.
Yeah, that's what well, you got those catalogs, too, so maybe it's like some other people make those, and then they send them in. I don't know, it's gotten weird. I just chose not to question any of that game, because that game was so weird. You can fish out a Music Man.
You can fish Music Man out of the frickin' ball pit.
Exactly.
You can get Funtime Chica, the entire animatronic, in a single capsule.
Yeah, I saw this video. It's like, so what are you gonna go up to the prize counter and be like, hello, I'd like the $71,000 animatronic, please. No,
and then there's the pickles.
The pickles.
The pickles.
The pickles.
The pickles.
To ramble on and on. That one was more of a joke for the parents, but it was the main stage that was for the kids. A rocking band of characters featuring a yellow chicken thing with a southern drawl named Chica, backed by a band of other country-themed characters, including a pig with a banjo, an upbeat frog from the local swimming hole, and a brown bear with a heavy southern accent.
So I know where they got this from. I know you haven't read the books, but I know where they got this from. But it's honestly been a while since I read that book. I'm not even going to question any of this now. I'm just going to see where this goes, and we might come back to this.
My only question is, why does Chica look like that? Why is she looking like that?
Because it's the withered form. It's OG Chica. OG Chica.
Well, okay, well then where was withered Freddie, Bonnie, and Foxy during this time?
You'd have to read the books.
No.
It's from the Puppet Carver.
Whatever that is.
A bear? But bears were his animals. Why not a cow or a...
Bro, bears are not your animals. They're everyone's animals. Actually, I had a meme for that. But anyway, bears are not, like, They're not your animal.
You have not copyrighted the entire bear species.
Going back to, he wants to copyright the entire bear species. He wants all the bears and the rabbits to be his. No one can own a bear or a rabbit. Not that I think
anyone
Russian
would want to.
I mean, you can own rabbits, but I think people in Russia own bears. You cannot speak the word rabbit or bear without paying him a whole nickel. William needs to take a chill pill.
Yeah, I think he needs to go to frickin' business school.
Or something to fit the country theme a bit better. Why did it have to be a bear? And adding insult to injury, they had the nerve to call this thing Ned Bear, a direct copy of his own Fredbear.
Whoops, that's gonna leave a mark.
No, that was not okay. Afton's jealous admiration turned to hardened bitterness. A bitterness that would only grow over the next couple of years as families continued to choose Chica's party world over Fredbear's. William just couldn't compete with the appeal of the robots. Eventually, his
You know, I'm feeling like this is more of a headcanon more than an actual canon.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even... I know what he's trying to say and how he's trying to connect the pieces, but it just doesn't make sense in my mind.
Yeah, like...
Because I still keep going back to Henry and William were partners.
And then I thought Henry built Fredbear, and then William built Spring Bonnie.
I mean, yeah, that's more of a headcanon, but that would make sense.
Like, I thought they both sat down one day at a desk, and then they're just like, all right, let's cook.
Yes. No, but I keep going back to they were partners, so how is this even holding any ground?
It's would go bankrupt, only to get bailed out by, of course, Henry Emily.
Oh, here's where we all wrap it up. Now everything's making sense.
No, it isn't.
Say it with me. The lore alarm, the lore. The lore alarm, the lore. The lore alarm, the lore!
Insult. Another humiliation that William wouldn't soon forget. 1979. Despite being bitter, Afton couldn't deny that what came next was a period of...
Wait, I'm sorry. What did that say down
Emily.
The corner?
Another insult. Another humiliation that William wouldn't soon forget.
What's up with that face?
1979.
Silver eyes.
Honestly, you know what, whatever.
Despite being bitter, Afton couldn't deny that what came next was a period of massive success and expansion. With the two franchises now merged into one, it was the best of both worlds. Afton's ideas with Henry's robotic expertise. The two men decided to launch under a new name, Fredbear's Family Diner, a pizza chain that...
Okay, I guess this all...
That makes more sense, but less sense at the same time.
Yes, it makes enough sense to work, but then again, it's like, you kind of...
Like, it makes sense.
It's like when you try and complete a puzzle without the pieces.
It's like,
so you take other pieces and put them in, and you know it kind of works, but then again it doesn't.
Yeah, know? It's like trying to put together a puzzle without putting together, without gathering all the edge pieces first. Yeah,
no, I'm thinking it's hard to explain because I guess it does make sense. Yes, but then again it doesn't.
It makes sense in the context of the situation, but not in the overarching timeline.
Yeah. Also, never mind.
Let's just keep going.
Would eventually come to feature a mix of humans in performing suits as well as on-stage animatronics. They decided to stick with Fredbear as the headliner, considering the yellow bear was easily identifiable as a brand and because he was the original performing animal mascot. Afton appreciated that. This new restaurant would also see a mix of characters as the two franchises merged into one, with Pig Patch and Happy Frog performing right alongside Fredbear and Bonnie. And as part of this one big Fredbear family, they even got themselves official merch that were released, ranging from masks to magnets.
The crappy Mr. Hippo fridge magnet?
Honestly, I don't think you can do the magnet thing, seeing as that was created... I mean, I'm sure there probably were magnets, but the fact that you're using this as your reference point...
No, the fact he's using the Mr. Hippo magnet in Security Breach, which we know to be at least 50 years after Fredbear's was founded because of that one balloon in Monty Golf.
No, actually, I went back to find that balloon. There's about 7 different balloons, so I don't think that holds any...
Well, my point still stands. It was probably a while. So I think that's a magnet of the probably put in storage Glamrock Mr. Hippo.
Yeah, there is a Glamrock Mr. Hippo.
It's at the end of one of the...
And in the books, But I don't feel like you can use this as evidence to support that there would be magnets back in 1979, I believe he said.
I'm sure there were.
Not that I'm saying that there weren't, magnets of the characters, but I feel like it's hard to believe that, and I'm going back to the fact that I thought Mr. Hippo wasn't created until FNAF 6, which I think is at least past 2023.
So,
if I'm remembering
my main
right.
issue with this is that I'm pretty sure the only reason that magnet exists is for fan service.
Yeah,
Because
you know, people despise Mr. Hippo.
I despise
but they
Mr. Hippo. He fricked up my UCN speed run.
You mean your dying?
Yes,
speeder?
the suicide percent.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, but people, they like to see him. He's a joke character.
He's a joke. He's a fan service character.
Like
the fans
Music
recognize
Man.
him. The Music Man, yeah.
Like Music
I
Man.
like Music Man.
For their chance to step back into the limelight if and when way into the dumpster, storage units, and retro budget tech stores of lost nostalgia, waiting for their chance to step back into the limelight if and when a headliner went out of commission. Others, though, would fare much better, like a new Pirate Fox, as well as a blue guitar-playing variant of the yellow Bonnie Bunny. Ultimately, the franchise would get so big, it would spawn its own cartoon show, Fredbear and Friends. Business was booming. In the end, Fredbear and Bonnie's popularity would be so strong that they would be able to support the Fredbear's Family Diner franchise all on their own, while also spinning off a new sister location dedicated to their friends. In 1983, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza launched, giving a dedicated home to all this new supporting cast of characters. Chica the Chicken, Bonnie the Blue Bunny, Foxy the Pirate, and of course the headliner, a brown Freddy Fazbear. Business was good, and
Freddy
Afton was
Fazbear?
happy, mostly. It did bother him that the one original character that he created, the one that he himself played, Golden Bonnie, got passed over for inclusion in that cartoon show. The only character in the roster of regulars to get ignored for the show, but other than that, things were going smoothly. He had himself a wife, 2 sons, a daughter, he had a thriving.
Okay, so we gotta really think about how old he was when he
Okay,
had
something
those
that always
children.
ticked me off is that these three do not have the same skin color. I give Elizabeth a pass since she was in a different game, but if you're gonna make them brothers, you might at least have given them the same, or at least similar hair color, because he's got, like, Indian skin color, and he's got, like, normal white skin color.
Mean,
like, it's just...
we don't even know who the wife was. She might have been Indian. Honestly,
That's
at this
a good point.
At this
I'm
point,
not putting it above him.
we're not trying to be, like, racist or anything. We're just
I mean,
pointing
we could.
out a fact. Also, he might be tanned. Did you say we could?
No.
We're not racist.
I mean, well, we could.
This is like a lemon lime. Okay, so let's go back to the math, shall we? Oh, I got rid of my math. Okay, so it's 1983, right?
1983.
So William is 50. I think we
50.
So-
Reduced to 50.
Okay, so 50, right? And then we had to be. So how old are we gonna assume Elizabeth is? Let's throw a number up
from her voice, probably 8.
Okay. -8. Okay, so he would be 42 when he had Elizabeth. Okay, so, and then Mike, who's older, we're gonna say
Probably like 14, I would guess.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna guess 14. He would be 36.
This is all just guesstimations.
This is just us throwing random numbers out there, but he was pretty old when he had his children. If we're going off of that, he was alive in 1930s. The 1930s.
Because, like I said, he gets no just. I will now shut up.
Is your
for the
face
duration
on
of
a
the
milk carton? Because you're about to go missing.
business. And best of all, he was able to learn the craft of robotics from the man that he both loved and hated.
Why is he
Henry.
vibrating?
Together, they were constantly
It's
pushing the
from
limits
a-
of what
it's
these
from
characters
a-
could do.
a
Because it was
game.
quick and
I
easy,
think
new
it's from
characters
Fnaf
introduced
World.
into the roster would be given a simple hand-sewn suit with 5 fingers that any performer could wear. Eventually, Henry would design one of his signature animatronics for that character, utilizing a divided mouth with either a hinged or sliding jaw design. This was the first generation of animatronics. But why
These not-so-sour
Oh,
fruits are causing
why?
a great fight in the patch. Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet,
Bro,
gone.
that kind of looks like
Ensure your small
Purple
business
guy-
with a
No,
fellow
no,
small business owner.
the Squid Game that you
Talk to an
play.
agent today.
No,
There, Afton
you know what
had
I'm
big
saying? Those Sour Pitch Kids, I know look like
Oh, Tabs. The one I was playing earlier.
no, the game with the squids where you shoot the paint at everyone.
Oh, Splatoon.
Splatoon. They
Yeah.
look like Splatoon.
ideas. What if the animatronics weren't just locked to the stage, but could freely roam the restaurant and interact with the kids? What
That's
if
a
his
horrible
mascot
idea.
suits could become animatronics? What if you could
You know what? I'm not even going to comment.
Use more than just rigid metallic skeletons. Why not experiment with tubes and wires that would give the animatronics fluidity and flexibility while still providing structure? The possibilities for this technology were endless. Afton fell in love with robotics. He had started with a dream of bringing one simple singing bear to life, but with robots, he had stumbled across the tools that gave him the ability.
Bro, you can pause it whenever you want. Just hit the space or pause it.
I would just like to say I cringe every time I see Endo 2.
Why?
Every time somebody brings up Endo 2, I mean, he just looks goofy. His name is stupid, since technically he's Endo 1.
That's so true! I never thought of it that way. Well, he is Endo 1.
He is technically Endo 1, but since he was in the endoskeleton model for the second game, he's Endo 2. But not only that, just his design is just so goofy.
He's a goofy goober, yeah.
You're a goofy goober, yeah.
We're gonna get copyright striked, bro. I already have one copyright strike.
From that one time?
I was gonna say something about something and I forgot about it.
That sucks. Start the
Oh, yes. Here's a thought that I've had that I will continue to have. So, Elizabeth was missing in Fnaf 4, which supposedly takes place in 1983. So, either her and William... No, wait, we see Purple Guy in the... So, Elizabeth was probably dead by 1983, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't we see in that one mini game William Afton trying to help someone into a suit, the Purple Guy?
Yeah.
Am I misremembering?
No, I don't remember that. I'm brain dumping that. So I know what you're talking about. I know that it happened, but I just can't visualize it in my head.
Yeah, but I've never even gotten past night 4 of the...
That sucks.
Yeah, of the FNAF 4, so I think I've rage quit that. Yeah. Anyway, but what I've been thinking is either Elizabeth is dead, or her and William Afton are over in the sister location right now. Which is why she's missing from FNAF 4. Just a thought.
That makes
sense. To control life itself.
What
thanks to
the
Henry,
hell?
he was practically speedrunning his way to an engineering degree. And while William wouldn't admit it out loud, one other thing that kept pushing him forward was the desire to beat his former rival, to prove himself smarter and more capable, to surpass the man who everyone else considered to be a visionary genius. But pride cometh before the fall, and tragedy was about to strike. Okay, so that brings us to the end of part 1 of the story. That said, at the end of each of these chunks, I want to break...
No, we're gonna skip all this. We're not gonna talk about this. So, honestly, this part 1 was not the worst video I've ever seen. But we'll see where
it has a bunch of plot holes, but
it has plot holes, but it's not the worst theory I've seen from MatPat. Though some of his newer theories, like about the mimic, he needs to take his eyeballs and open them and read the FNAF. He needs to read not the Fazbear Frights, the Pizzaplex. They keep stuttering.
He needs to read Pizzaplex. He needs to pick up the Bible. He needs to go outside.
Can you stop?
He needs to touch grass.
Nah, man. I need to touch the sea. He needs to touch the sea. He needs to go in the water.
Like you're on a beach house. 8 minutes to the beach. 0.5 seconds if you jump.
No. Okay, yeah. But he really needs to pick up a Pizzaplex book because some of his theories are bad. Anyway, we're gonna... thank you all for watching and...
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, or don't. He's not gonna thank you. I thank you all for being here.
I could care less.
Okay, bye now.
She dragged me into this room.
You wanted to be here!
She dragged me